What's up YouTube? Coach Ethan here. We've got another video. We're going back to back 2 days in a row here today. But today I want to be talking about one of the biggest dynamics in my life that I think led me to being relatively successful for my age. If you don't know already, I am 20 years old. I'm fully independent. Bought and owned 2 cars in my own apartment. I'm looking at buying a house this year while I will still be 20. I moved out when I was 19, right about just under a year out of graduating high school. And so I've been relatively successful with my fitness coaching business and just my overall approach to building out my life on my own. So to get into it, I think there's this dynamic that I was exposed to and really put myself into just practice with from a young age of really listening to older people that were wiser than me and realizing the value that they had to provide. A lot of people when they're young will rebel against the older authority, or can't talk, the older authority people in their life. They think that they're being controlled, and they think that other people just don't want what they want for themselves. And I think that's really not so much I don't think that's the truth. I feel like there's a lot to be listened to and understood from people that are wiser than you, and I think that's played a massive role into why I've been able to do what I've been able to do at a young age. And so, now don't get me wrong, there's points where you have to have your own decision making. And I went against a lot of what my parents and, just older people and family in my life had recommended or wanted for me. But I also listened to a lot of people, including family, friends, and a lot more so mentors and people that were in my field that have been successful and done things that I wanted to do. That is where I focused a lot of attention and really listened to what people had to say. And so while what I'm saying makes it seem like everything is to be had from and learned from older, wiser people, I really think that there's this dynamic where older, wiser people also get a lot out of talking to younger people starting their lives. It's almost like this cycle where older people, as they're getting, later and later into their life, realize the value they had in their youth, the value of the energy and just the mindset and this whole outlook on the world that younger people like my age in their 20s really have. They have this motivation and just drive. And sure, you have higher testosterone levels and you're really new to the world, in the adult world. And so a lot of older people really, I don't want to say admire it, but they can kind of lean off of that as motivation and inspiration to keep pushing into their lives. And me being into fitness and as a fitness coach, I've been able to provide value to, bringing up their morale and bringing up their motivation and understanding of fitness and nutrition and keeping up with their health, simply because that is a strength that I have. In the same way they have strength in wisdom and life experience that I have been able to build off of, they build off of the youth and energy and upcoming new technologies that are, the younger generations are always, better off on using technology and stuff like that. And so it is a dynamic where, mutually they are both beneficial. I mean, it's a mutually beneficial kind of experience talking to these different age groups. And being that my business is pretty widespread in age ranges, I have clients that are in their 20s around my age. I have clients that are up in their 40s or 50s or even 60. And so I get to talk to a lot of different people and understand like the different mindsets and just perspectives on the world. And I think it's tremendously benefited me in being able to be more successful and more wise about my life, because I think a lot of people would agree that both good health and fitness and logic and wisdom and life experience are two of the most valuable things you can have going into the world to try to be successful. And so the problem with getting older and getting wiser and just kind of focusing on your career and your life and your, building a family is a lot of times if you don't have the health and fitness side of things and the youthfulness and that energy, you will sacrifice that for sake of getting to your career and, just life goals. And a lot of people that have the youth and health and fitness will ignore the wisdom and the important like career stuff at the beginning of their lives. A lot of people will party and just have fun and do whatever they want throughout their 20s and kind of disregard the older people that are really meaning well to try to provide wisdom and guidance. Going back to what I said earlier on, a lot of people will neglect that. They'll rebel against people that are older than them just because they look at them and say, oh, you seem, it seems like a boring part of your life now. I want to just have fun and I'm just going to hang out and only talk to people that are young like me. But I think the only way you'll really reach the, best version of yourselves is by having both, a balance of both. And so that's that dynamic that I was talking about. If you can get into rooms and talking with people in all different ranges of life experience and age, you can really start to understand how the wisdom and life experience can complement your fitness and health and youth and your energy and your ability to just go out there and like attack the world. And that's exactly what I've been doing year after year, like month after month. I am constantly learning new different things from people that are older than me, people that are, my age that are doing well in business and fitness and everything. You have to have both. So next time you have a conversation with, an older person, maybe they're in their 50s, maybe it's a grandparent, maybe they're, 60s, 70s, 80s, dude, like sit down and really listen and ask them, what life has been like for them or when they were your age. And although we're living in different times, sure, but there really is a lot you can take away from things. And then there's a lot that you can add to their lives too. So understand that. And the sooner you do, the sooner you will be the best, closer and closer to this best version of yourselves, where you can leverage wisdom and knowledge and just good life practices of the older people, while also having that youthfulness and energy as at your age. Or if it's the other way around and you've lived a long life, maybe you're in your 50s now and you're looking ahead at the next 20, 30 years of your life. How can I, use this wisdom to now improve my health, improve my fitness? That's where you maybe need to be in the room and in the doors with these, younger people like me, like trainers and just people that like are just really trying to take on the world and revive that energy in yourself, revive that like mindset that you had back in your 20s, where you can really keep going. Because I understand from a lot of people that I've talked with, the further you go into your life and the more responsibilities you add on and the more just difficult things you go through, the less you are going to take risks and have that confidence and have that energy in yourself to keep on pushing forwards for more growth and improvement in your life. And I'll tell you, if you lean into that, and don't take risks on yourself and don't try to constantly improve still, even in the later years of your life, you're gonna feel the effects of aging 10 times over. And my best clients that are in their 50s and 60s have this growth and improvement mindset. We rewired back to where they were when they were younger in their 20s, thinking of how can I get ahead? How can I get ahead? How can I keep moving forwards to better and improve myself and ultimately have a greater quality of life? So I hope this video was super insightful and valuable to you guys, just kind of my perspective on a big dynamic that I don't really see other people talk about very often, and I think it can help a lot of people. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.